Hello everyone, welcome back to Star Trek Online, the Borg playthrough. I'm here with my awesome chat here on Twitch, live as we play through the Lost Dominion story arc. So, last episode, things got really interesting really fast. As it turns out, a Dominion fleet attacked and captured Deep Space Nine. So we're here at Bajor in preparation for a counteroffensive. So let's go ahead and get into the Of Bajor mission and get right to it.
We've evacuated everyone we could to Bajor, and we're setting up a base there to coordinate our counterattack against the Dominion. I won't lie to you, though. It's not gonna be easy. We were caught completely off guard by Karakan and his fleet, and the Bajorans are none too pleased to have house guests. We must balance the needs of the civilian populace with those of the Starfleet and Klingon forces currently on the surface. Starfleet needs all the help it can get planet-side right now. Transport down to our staging area on Bajor. You'll find me there. Captain Kurland will join us as soon as he can.
Alright, let's beam down. Welcome to the city of Hathon, Admiral Red Queen. Commander Missy Achebe has asked me to inform her when you have arrived. She's waiting for you in her office at the Starfleet base. I'll add the coordinates to your map. Another social zone. Somebody's a cat! No, not down that way. The fuck? Mycelial Rift drone? I haven't seen those before. That's interesting.
Time is short.
Welcome to Bajor. This will serve as our base of operations while we work to retake DS9. I need you to give me your best here. Everyone needs to be in top shape for the counterattack on DS9. But before that can happen, we need to make sure this base is fully operational. We're guests here on Bajor, but the locals don't view us that way. I thought that Bajor joining the Federation would be a step in the right direction, but the Bajorans in this city seem to think this is the second coming of the Cardassian occupation. Be on your best behavior and try to do all you can to smooth some of the ruffled feathers. A civilian uprising is a headache I don't need. I'll have something for you later. Report to Lieutenant Jarell Kav first. She'll know what tasks are most crucial. Okay. So gotta go over this way.
How can I help you?
Great to see you. We can use all the help we can get here. The attack on DS9 has put everything here into a tailspin. We're setting up a base to coordinate the campaign to take the station back, but it's slow going. This area of the city is older, and it doesn't have the infrastructure we need. Good thing we have talented officers like you who know how to whip up a few technical miracles.
Do you need something?
Let's see, required aggressive assimilation. I feel like we should do this. There's a lot of hostility from the population, and unfortunately some of our Klingon guests have been responding in kind. We don't need trouble, but I don't want to get the militia involved. This should be something we can handle on our own. Could you go out and calm a few of these hotheads down? Stop fights between Klingons and Bajorans. You only need to complete one of the following missions. Either aggressive assimilation or eavesdropping on required renovations. Let's do aggressive assimilation.
I'm here to help.
Hello, welcome in, Arian. Let's just do this one. Since it gets us moving around a bit more. You know what? No, fuck it. Engineering. More technical people.
I'm here to help.
We've cobbled together a base here faster than I expected, but we had to use whatever equipment was at hand. Starfleet is sending supply ships out, but that will take time. Until then, we'll have to do the best we can. A lot of this equipment is old or outdated, and we're experiencing a significant number of malfunctions. What I could really use is an engineer who's handy with a hyperspanner to make repairs. Think you're up to the task? I'll assimilate it. Let's just fix stuff here. Technician, how can I help you? What do you do? My job here is to keep this holodeck running. The technology part is simple, but then I started working with Commander Achebe to program combat training scenarios. She's demanding, but I like working for an officer who knows what she wants. These programs can help one person get ready to fight the Jem'Hadar and retake DS9. All the work has been worth it. The more we prepare, the more lives we'll save. Oh, this is... Okay, I think I got it repaired. Something over there is sparking. Okay. Repair equipment in the infirmary. That. That repaired. This is fritzing out again. There we go. And now we gotta make some repairs at Starfleet Command. Oh, over here. There we go. Did I just fix this? Okay. Base builder. Thanks. Everything is working perfectly now. It will take a lot of good engineers to complete our mission here.
I'm here to help.
Contemplating captains. We have several holodeck training programs developed for the Advanced Tactical Training Program for an introduction to ground combat against Dominion opponents. This one will pit you against a changeling. It's unclear whether there is a changeling with the Dominion forces on DS9, but it's always a good idea to be prepared. You can use the holodeck here to run the program. And remember, we have a lot that needs to be done here on Bajor, so choose the combat training program that suits your needs the best. Don't spend all day on the holodeck.
I'm here to help.
Tell me about yourself. I'm just glad to be here to help out. I was at DS9 waiting for the USS Tempest when the Jim Hadar attacked. I evac'd with the station staff, and instead of sitting on my hands waiting for a rescue, I volunteered to help with operations here. That's what I do. Operations isn't the most glamorous station on a starship, but I help ensure that everything that needs to be done gets done so that the captains and the rest of the senior officers can concentrate on the bigger issues. And there are a lot of issues here. I'm Betazoid, so I can sense all the unrest here. The DS9 crew are mourning their losses and uncertain of what to do next. Captain Curlin has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and there are a lot of Bajorans who just wish we'd pack up and go home. But that's what we're here to do, right? No one's leaving until we can take back DS9.
I'm here to help.
What's funny about this is even though this is a hologram, you can still capture the changeling and turn it in to Starfleet Command. What the? There's nothing there. They're attacking a random crate. Nope, not there either. They're just like, we'll just shoot it. That'll make sure. This one. No? What the fuck? There it is. Okay. Ow. Ow. Shudhead, why are you fuse armoring the box? Come on. Focus on the changeling. What is... okay. Definitely bugged. Ow. Oh shit. Ow. He has no health! Oh, we gotta capture him. There we go. Gotcha! As far as we know, there are no changelings with the Force on DS9, but it never hurts to be prepared. I run that program at least once a day.
I'm here to help.
Let's see. Scrutinizing starships. We have several holodeck training programs developed for the Advanced Tactical Training Program as an introduction to space combat against the Dominion opponents. This one will pit you against large Jem'Hadar ships, from cruisers to a dreadnought. I know you were in the Battle of DS9, but we're going to be facing far more Jem'Hadar before we retake the station, and you need to be ready for them. You can use the holodeck here to run the program. And remember, we have a lot that needs to be done here on Bajor, so choose the combat training program that suits your needs the best. Don't spend all day on the holodeck.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, I want to do the big advanced one, because that's more fun. Ah, wasted. Got him! Disintegrated. Excellent. Someday I might switch to the command track and try to become a ship commander myself. Till then, the holodeck is enough for me.
Do you need something?
Thanks to you, we have everything under control here at the base. You should head up to the city to help the Bajorans. Colonel Kubus Pol of the militia has been asking for assistance. Find him and he should be able to point you in the right direction. We couldn't have done this without you.
I'm here to help.
Okay, next street over.
We have a situation here.
Welcome to Bajor. I wish your visit here could have been under better circumstances. This whole DS9 situation troubles me, and having Starfleet here on Bajor has opened up some old wounds. And letting the Klingons come down too? That's just like dropping a plasma torch into a deuterium tank. What we need to do now is convince people that they're safe and that we have this situation under control. Occupation overreaction. There are a lot of people here who aren't happy about Starfleet establishing a base here and allowing the KDF to stay as well. Bajorans have always been touchy about outsiders, and the occupation and the Dominion War just made that worse. Now with Jim Hadar and DS9 and you all here on the ground, those old fears are coming back to the surface. There's a protester by the fountain stirring up the crowd, and we'll have a riot on our hands if we don't put a stop to it. Talk to him. Don't violate his right to free speech and assembly, but maybe you can convince him that Starfleet isn't the return of the Cardassians. What is your role here on Bajor?
Back in my day, things were different.
Now that Bajor is part of the Federation, my job is to keep the peace here. That's harder with Starfleet and the KDF planet side. There are still Bajorans who remember the occupation. I grew up in a refugee camp, and I have friends and family who don't like the idea of any outside organization establishing a base on Bajor, friend or foe. The Federation respects that, for the most part. Kurland has kept his people on DS9. That's fine with me. The militia is more than willing to leave anything that happens off-world to Starfleet. But now you're here in my city. That means you're my problem. Why are people upset by our arrival?
Peace and quiet. That's what we need.
Our world has changed more in the past 50 years than it did in the 500 years before it. The end of the occupation, the return of the emissary, the Dominion War, joining the Federation, the Undine, the war with the Klingons? Bajor is a different planet now. Some would say it has changed too much. Why are people upset by our arrival? Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. Let's go talk to this. Let's go talk to the rabble rouser.
This is our home!
Bajoran people will not stand for another hostile occupation. The Cardassians did enough damage to our world. We deserve peace, prosperity, and the right to govern ourselves. Starfleet does not want to occupy Bajor. So you say, prove that you don't intend to occupy this planet. We appreciate that you are willing to share this city with us while we coordinate our campaign against the Jim Hadar.
This is our home!
Many Bajorans were displaced during the occupation. Thousands died in labor camps far from their homes. And even if you weren't forced into the camps, life was uncertain. Do you know that when Gul Pirak commanded the weapons depot here during the occupation, he executed 15 farmers simply for not displaying the Cardassian banner outside of their homes? We're already seeing this here. Starfleet and the KDF are taking over this section of the city. Soon, Bajorans will be pushed out of their business and homes to make more room for soldiers. We are grateful for the space Bajor has lent to us. All of the improvements we're making will be left as a token of our appreciation. Maybe you're right, Alma. I never thought of it that way. So you say, prove that you don't intend to occupy this planet. Many of our facilities, including our sickbay and holodecks, are available for use by any Bajoran.
Bajor for Bajorans!
Land wasn't the only thing the Cardassians took from us. They treated us like animals. Thousands lost their lives in medical experiments or were permanently injured through malnutrition and neglect. The Cardassians didn't care if we lived or died. The only thing that mattered was that healthy Bajorans could process more ore. Our doctors have sworn an oath to do no harm to their patients. They will help anyone who wants to make use of their services. Okay. The Bajoran government is stable. They don't need us to tell them what to do.
Bajor for Bajorans!
The Cardassians were able to pit Bajoran against Bajoran by starving us and depriving us of our basic rights. Any small comfort they allowed us as a reward for being their... What's this person doing? Any small comfort they allowed us as a reward for being their puppets was treated like we'd won a lottery. Neighbor turned against neighbor, and brothers reported on their families. In the end, many people were labeled as collaborators when all they tried to do was fill their children's empty bellies. The Bajoran people were put in a terrible position. Some were forced to make difficult choices. There's no shame in that. Bajor has a rich history and its people have repeatedly fought for their rights.
We will not be slaves!
The Bajoran people have been fighting a war for so long we no longer know how to live in peace. The Federation rules us now, but they are still occupiers. Look at our history since the occupation. The Circle, the Konma, the Maquis, thousands of our young people joining Starfleet to fight the Dominion and the Empire. Our only art now is violence. The freedom fighters of the past do not deserve to be called now. If you feel remorse for the violence in Bajor's past, then you have not changed as much as you think you have. Bajor has a rich cultural heritage.
Bajor for Bajorans!
The first thing the Cardassians did during the occupation was try and remove all sense of our cultural identity. When the Cardassians came, our artists and entertainers were forced to work as slaves. The rural way of life that had sustained us for countless generations was destroyed with our farmlands. And when the Dajara caste system was abolished, our society was left in a disaster. Artists became soldiers, and soldiers turned into farmers and bakers. We lost knowledge that had been handed down for generations, and the people were left to struggle through life as best they could. Artistic desires can never be destroyed, only suppressed temporarily. Artists will find a way to create. The Bajoran religion is a key cultural keystone.
We will not be slaves!
One of the worst side effects of the occupation was the loss of faith among Bajorans. We have followed the teachings of the prophets for thousands of years. During the Cardassian rule, however, our religious leaders were executed and our monasteries were closed. The atrocities that we experienced made it difficult for anyone to believe in the prophets. What's even worse is that the emissary allowed the path to the Celestial Temple to be closed during the Dominion War. People turned to the Pa-wraiths in an attempt to have their prayers answered. The prophets never abandoned Bajor. Speak and they listen. Bajor is a beautiful world. We have no wish to harm it.
We will not be slaves!
The Cardassian occupation took everything from Bajor. Our resources were stripped away with no regard for allowing them to replenish, or for future generations. This planet is nothing but a shell of what it once was. With careful planning, we can prevent further damage to Bajor, and even reverse some of the long-lasting effects of the occupation. We don't want to leave a mark on Bajor. When we leave, we will leave your city as we found it.
This is our home!
Bajor was scarred by the Cardassians, who stripped away her bounty. But what was worse was their complete lack of consideration for the environment. The soil, air, and water have been poisoned. Entire species of flora and fauna have been wiped out for irrevocably damaged. New pests with no natural predators were introduced, and now they're overwhelming native populations. We can work together to right many of these wrongs. It will take time, but anything is possible. Rather sensible, Borg. Just join the collective. You'll all be fine. I heard somewhat of what you had to say to those protesters. Excellent work. I think people will start seeing things your way. Oh. Petition the prophets. The Vedic Assembly has agreed to allow you access to the Orb of Prophecy and Change. This is a great honor, but it is also a great responsibility. Many people want to know why the prophets didn't intervene to stop the Jem'Hadar from attacking Deep Space Nine. I know the prophets would never abandon us. They must have a reason for why they didn't act. It is up to you to carry their message back to us. I'm going to do this one since it's better for the story. They explain things better. Why have the prophets seen fit to return the Jem'Hadar fleet to this time and place?
You are not grateful. We saved Bajor at the Cisco's insistence. It cost him dearly.
We moved the fleet, but we needed to put it back.
A hand that remains closed
ceases to be a hand.
The fleet needs to exist, as you must return.
So basically, the prophets waylaid this Dominion fleet during the Dominion War, which significantly reduced the forces of the Dominion during the initial attack on Deep Space Nine. But the prophets had to return them back to time. So the prophets let them loose again. And that's why we're dealing with them now. You should feel blessed. The prophets don't speak to everyone. I have faith in their plan for Bajor. You are an important part of that plan.
Peace and quiet. That's what we need.
Commander Achebe needs your help with communications. Report to her and she can give you the details. Well. We will retake DS9. Where's Captain Kurland?
Give me a sit rep.
Kurland is running things from his end on board the Defiant. They're in orbit of Bajor now, but ready to move to the Gamma Quadrant or back to DS9 if the situation changes. With the loss of Commander Andrews, Starfleet knew Captain Kurland would need some assistance here, and I'm used to a little chaos. My last position was coordinating refugee transports out of Eta Eridani. I'll handle things here on the ground, and he can coordinate the counterattack.
I have new orders for you.
Is there anything else that needs to be done? We've managed to set up a subspace relay outside in the courtyard. I need you to try to pick up any transmissions coming from Deep Space Nine. We need intel. Anything we can learn about the state of things on the station will help.
I have new orders for you.
Subspace spyworks. We've managed to set up a subspace relay outside in the courtyard. I need you to try... yeah.
I have new orders for you.
Let's see... Okay. Accessing Dabo with Lita. Do you want to proceed? Initiate communications. This is your favorite part of this arc? Sorry, I'm not very hype at the moment. I'm on the tail end of an hour-long toothache screaming. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Ibuprofen is just starting to kick in. Oh, that's good. Oof. I feel for you. I really do. Initiate communications.
Davo!
Nope. Okay. Increase frequency. No communications signal found at this frequency and band. Signal detected. Accessing ops. Do you want to proceed? Initiate communications. Who is this? Whoops. Accessing private network 5492. Please stand by. Hey! Who is this? How did you find this channel? Wait! Don't terminate this communication. I'm a friend. Oh, wait. I know you. I recognize you from earlier. You were trying to help that Teferi ambassador get a holosuite appointment. I like your style. I'm Hadron, the bartender at Quark's. This is my alternate subspace communication channel. I use it for business matters. Legitimate! Legal business! Sometimes I don't want Kurland and company listening in on my dealings, but that doesn't make them any less legitimate. Can you tell me anything about the Jem'Hadar on the station? They're terrible for business. There are a lot of them. They're mean, they don't eat or drink, and they brought Ketraso White with them. The Vorta with them has been in once or twice, always orders tulaberries, never talks, and never pays. My profits are going down the drain! Hey, you are planning on coming back, right? Bringing the fleet back to kick these guys out? I need actual paying customers! I'll even give a discount on all drinks for the first hour after the station is reclaimed. Top shelf drinks excluded, of course. We're taking Deep Space Nine back, but we need your help. Oh, right. The Jem'Hadar Alpha is named Karukan. He's a real rough customer. The biggest and meanest one of them all. He's got a Vorta with him. Her name is Loris. She's tough, but she hasn't gone out of her way to make our lives miserable. She's allowing those of us who didn't evacuate to stay, but only if we toe the line and don't give the Jem'Hadar any trouble. Honestly, how is a businessman supposed to make a living like this? The weird part is that they think the Dominion War is still going on. I heard Loris and Karukan talking. They expected an entire Dominion fleet to be here waiting for them, and a changeling to be in charge. It's crazy. They've been hauling people in for questioning, and teams of Jem'Hadar have been tearing the station apart looking for this captive changeling. What happened to these guys? They get stuck in a black hole for 30 years? Thanks for your help. We'll return as soon as possible, but you'll need to hold on for a little while longer. Want to draw little nipples on this head bumps? Oh, shit. I missed some of the other ones, unfortunately. Like, one of them, you come in contact with Vic Fontaine. There's an interesting development. That's an interesting development. I'll keep in touch with Hadron. Maybe he can get more information to us.
I have new orders for you.
Managed to contact someone on the station. The Dominion are looking for a founder? And they think the war is still going on? We need to clear up this confusion pronto. Maybe they'll be willing to leave the station peacefully if we convince them that the war has been over for decades. I think we're ready to contact DS9 and try to talk to the leaders of the fleet. I want you to be our contact. Captain Curlin will link in and assist you during the negotiations. Alright, we gotta go to the militia HQ. My favorite part of this arc is infiltrating the station. Is there anything else you need, Admiral? No. Hail DS9, but then let me do the talking. I know you can handle this alone, Admiral, but this is my station. It's my responsibility to try to get it back. Hail DS9. Hailing Deep Space Nine on an encrypted channel. Putting it on screen now.
Who is this? What do you want?
Let's not be so hasty, Karukan. They obviously went to a great deal of trouble to contact us. I am Loris of the Dominion, temporary governor of Deep Space Nine. How can I help you?
Thank you for agreeing to talk, Loris. I am Captain James Curlin of the Federation Space Station Deep Space Nine. It is my hope that we can find a peaceful resolution to this conflict.
Of course, Captain. You want your station back. But this is a war, and your station is my prize.
I know this will be hard for you to accept, but there is no war. It's been over for decades. Your fleet was diverted when you attempted to pass through the wormhole. The prophets... There is a great deal we have to explain, but please understand, we are not your enemies.
I am not a fool, Captain. We have reviewed the records in DS9's databanks. Why should I believe this fantasy of prophets and time travel? Show me proof that what you say is true.
Loris, I asked Admiral Red Queen of the Borg Juggernaut 001 to join us today. Admiral, could you please step in here? Our esteemed Devorta would like some proof to back up our position. We show video records from the end of the Dominion War. These are video records of what happened in the Dominion War after your fleet disappeared. I think reviewing them might be helpful.
The Dominion War continued after a combined Starfleet and Klingon force retook DS9. When the Romulans entered the war on our side, things began to turn. The Dominion recruited the Breen to their cause, but the disease that was attacking the Founders put them on the defensive. They ultimately retreated out of most of the Alpha Quadrant, creating a defense perimeter in Cardassian space. Soon after, a Cardassian official named Damar led a rebellion on Cardassia Prime, breaking the standoff. The Dominion was forced to surrender.
Do not try to deceive me. That cannot be what happened. Why should I believe these recordings are real?
Admiral, how do you think we should assuage Loris's feelings of doubt? Cooperate with records from other species involved in the war. Many other species were involved in the Dominion War. We can back up our story with their records of the war.
You say the Klingons are your enemies now, but you show me recordings made by one of their starships? I cannot accept this as proof.
It seems to have left us at an impasse. Is there anything we can do to convince you to leave DS9 peacefully?
Enough! I will consider your arguments carefully, but you must understand that I am under orders as well. The Founders gave me specific instructions before I left the Gamma Quadrant. I accept that may have been many years ago. Nevertheless, mere time cannot countermand the commands of the gods. We are attempting to contact the Dominion in the Gamma Quadrant. As of yet, we have been unsuccessful. Until I speak to a Founder and receive new orders, we will remain here. Deep Space Nine belongs to the Dominion.
Thank you for all of your assistance. Now that we know more about the current situation on DS9, we can decide how to best take the tactical advantage. There's only one end to this scenario, Admiral. We retake DS9. There's no other acceptable alternative. Alright. Ooh, I'll take the shroud generators, actually. And that concludes that episode. And that also concludes this episode of Star Trek Online, the Borg playthrough. Next time we come in, we will continue the Lost Dominion arc, but that is going to have to be for another time. For those of y'all joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to check me out on my socials, on Twitter at LordCasselstone, and on Twitter, and at KefkaCasselstone.bsky.social on Blue Sky Social, if you would like to keep up to date with news on the channel. I also stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I hope to see you there live. Well, that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye-bye!